Everyone, welcome to another Random Talk Sunday, and today I'm going to briefly talk about spring, or as it is called, the March equinox, really technically the first day of spring. Apologize, this video had to be delayed. Unfortunately, I was pretty busy over the weekend, but I should be caught up by the end of today as of Monday. So basically, the beginning of spring starts within the northern hemisphere around this time. And basically, it either comes on the 19th, 20th, or 21st. It came on the 20th, at least of this year. And basically, the way in which this is sort of determined is that the sun crosses the celestial equator and goes into the northern hemisphere. And once it does that, this is where we sort of get spring happening, because the sun is more focused in on the northern hemisphere. Hence the reason why this northern and southern hemisphere have different seasons at different times. The interesting thing about this particular time of year is that it really brings out the start of the sort of festivities that we come to think of, at least around this time of year, like Easter and Passover being the big main examples. And oftentimes we attribute this time of year also to sort of rebirth and a new beginning, which makes sense both in sort of a scientific sense, in that we're supposedly getting, new flowers in bloom, and it's supposed to be a lot more sunnier than usual and whatnot, and it's supposed to be, again, a lot more colorful and animated. Hence, we sort of get that whole symbolism of kind of rebirth. And I couldn't necessarily tell when exactly this whole counting kind of really started, as far as like when it was sort of decided when exactly, it's the switch happens, but it's all based within a scientific means. So the thing about the way in which spring sort of starts is that it kind of just shows you the level of, I guess, what we could call ways in which our sort of seasons sort of operate. And in doing so, we sort of get an idea of what those changes kind of entail. And as far as my understanding is with spring is that it's just one of those periods of time where not only do we get rebirth, but we sort of get a wave of other things as well, sometimes related to allergies. A lot of people around this time of year have allergies, me included. But it is something that, again, sort of reflects onto sort of it being sort of new, in the sense that we're no longer present with winter, which oftentimes can be associated, I think, with the old, only because, we have really December that really kicks off winter, and that's within the old year. And then it sort of carries on until the new year, until eventually March rolls around. So it's sort of nice to see here how, this change ends up happening. And it's also why in Australia they have summer when it's really technically December, and it's really winter in the northern hemisphere and everywhere else. So it gives you a little bit of perspective into our planet, and the way in which it operates. And it's nice to see that it does this all for us, in ways that we don't sometimes even really think about. But I think that's really ultimately all I can say, though. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and a good start to this spring.